racing tips for Saturday the 28th of June. Well, I'm using free software. I get 5 minutes, so I haven't got time to ramble on. The last bet I gave you last Saturday, don't know if anybody realised, we had two horses in particular that just finished out their placings. Both horses lost by a short head, finished 6th instead of 5th. I think one with 50s and one with 28s. So it could have gone from a losing day to a very, very good day, but it didn't. So let's get into Saturday selections. So do what you want with them. It's a 5p each way Goliath for me. I've given you the prices for, just so you can see what price they are. So the first selection, I'm gonna have to fly through these because I'm 1 minute into a 5-minute video. So first selection is Charging Thunder, 28-1 in the 3:15 at Newcastle. James Owen, second string, but has decent form. Ran at Chester last time, raced 2 wide, and it was just a day out for it. The next selection is Sheridan, 10-1 in the 2:40 at Newcastle. This is in the consolation race, the Northumberland Vars, is it play, whichever one it is. Powerful connections. It's Fitzray. Is it Fitzray? Hey. It's in decent form. I just think it can improve. I think it's a step up in trip for it this time as well. Decent chance. And I think it's more of an all-weather performer as well. Next selection is Drama in the 1:40 at Newcastle, 15-2. It's gonna be, this pace is gonna be like lightning. I think they could set it up for it. It will be closing. Strike Red will also be closing, but I just can't quite have that horse. So it's Drama. I'm also a bit worried about, I think it's called Pocklington, but I just can't quite have it first time out. Don't get wrong, I know it won first time out last time, well, on its debut, which was only something like 4 runs ago, but I just think I'd like to see, I would have liked to have seen it have a run. The next selection is Spycatcher at 13-2 in the 2:10 at Newcastle. I tipped this last time when it was travelling well, and it just couldn't quite close on the principles, just because it was tackling better company, and it closed, but it just couldn't quite get there. I think it came 5th at something like 20-1. Ran a decent race. It should run a decent race again. Next selection is Ballon d'Or, 5-1, 3:05 at Chester. Extremely well handicapped. Will run its race. It's just that it's not a prolific winner. So fingers crossed for that one. The next selection is Shamrock Bay at 16-1 in the 1:55 at York. This is, I think it's Daniel and Claire Kubler. Just beginning to run into form. I do like the stable. They are very good at placing the horses, probably most notably at Goodwood. But obviously this isn't Goodwood, but I do think it's got a decent chance. The next selection is Far Underway at 9-1 in the 4:50 at York. This is trained by Grant Tur. I think it's Oliver Stammers on board, another horse that's running well, consistent, and I think the stable's just beginning to run into form. The next selection is far too big a price in my opinion, and it's the Showbiz Kid, or Showbiz Kid, 18-1 in the 5:25 at York. It's ridden by Ross Burkitt in this, what is it, amateur jockeys race. It's trained by Julia Fielden and Shelley Burkitt. I think Shelley Burkitt is Ross Burkitt's sister, because I think Shelley Burkitt is in a relationship with Dylan Hogan, I think. Not sure. Don't look like I'm stalking by knowing too much information, but yeah. So those are all the selections, I believe. I'll just have a quick scroll down. Yeah, nothing else from me. So you can see all the 8 selections. Hopefully there might be a video on Saturday for Sunday, but then again I might leave it until the following Saturday unless it's something that really catches my eye at a big meeting. I do like the York meeting. It's good ground. If the sun's out tomorrow, I would expect them to gradually start going far side again, because that's what they do as the ground's drying, because it looks like they've watered, because it's good ground. I don't think they've had loads of rain. We've had some rain up north, but it's not enough to really change the ground too much, I don't think. I might be wrong. Anyway, I wish you the very best of luck. Leave me a comment, leave me a like, or subscribe. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.